Active, and active once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today, I'm back with the Success Saturday video series, where here we discuss exactly how to be successful while on the 23% challenge meal plan. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to answer a very important question, and that is, are fat vegans not active enough? So please hang tight. Why? Because we're going to answer that question and then some. All right, guys, as always, I have objectives, meaning things that I definitely need to accomplish, meaning information that I need to convey to you. So my first objective is what I like to call Coach D's tip. It's short term. Basically, it's a little bit of advice, a little bit of help. Now, my second objective is to save 1 million animals. That's right, guys. This is Coach D's long-term objective. And as I've already stated, I'm looking to save animals. How many? 1 million. So please hang tight to find out what type of animals and how we're going to accomplish this. All right, guys, so today's topic is all about fat vegans. As a matter of fact, this is, I believe, my fourth or maybe my fifth video of this particular series about fat vegans. Now, please, I do understand that for some people, this is a very sensitive topic. However, my intention is not to ridicule. I'm not here to poke fun at anybody. I'm not here to be critical. And I'm not here to judge. If anything, Coach D is here to motivate, educate, and yes, entertain. So please listen on. All right, guys, first things first, let's determine what the word fat actually means. So there are a few ways in which we can determine how much body fat the body is actually holding on to. Now, the first way in which we can determine how much fat we're holding on to, or maybe it's a little more indicative of how healthy or how unhealthy we are, is by determining our body mass index, which basically is a measurement of our height and our weight. Now, if after calculating your BMI, if you come up with a number that is between 25 and 29.9, then technically you are categorized as being overweight. Now, if you have a BMI that measures 30.0 or higher, then you are categorized as being obese. Now, guys, keep something in mind. When we talk about body mass index, it does not take into consideration your age, your gender, right? Or even your activity level. That's right. So it is very possible that you could be a very muscular individual because you do a lot of weight training and you could be considered either overweight or obese. So generally speaking, when we talk about body mass index, it's normally recommended for the average everyday person who really doesn't get a lot of exercise. Now, another way that we can measure our body fat, or maybe just to indicate how healthy or how unhealthy we are, is through our waist circumference. Ladies, if you have a waist circumference that measures 35 inches or greater, then unfortunately you are at risk for the big four, meaning heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, and yes, obesity. Gentlemen, if you have a waist circumference that actually measures 40 inches or greater, then you also are at risk for the big four. Now, keep something in mind. When we talk about waist circumference, we're not necessarily talking about pant size, right? Really what we're talking about is you actually taking out a tape measure, going around the circumference of your abdominal area at the navel level, or we can use the word belly button, okay? And here's our third way to assess how much fat we have on our body is through body fat percent. Ladies, if you have a body fat percentage of 32% or higher, then you are considered obese. Gentlemen, if you have a body fat percentage that measures 26% or greater, then you are also considered obese. Now, here's the good news, is that if you click on the description box, I'm actually providing you with video demonstrations as well as online calculators. That's right. These video demonstrations and online calculators are going to help you determine your body mass index. They'll show you how to determine your waist circumference, and then they'll also help you determine your body fat percentage. So guys, please do yourself a favor, click on the description box, click on the links, enter in the information, and get the information that you desperately need. All right, now that we've talked about the word fat, let's now talk about the word vegan. Ladies and gentlemen, back in 1949, the Vegan Society co-founder, Leslie Cross, actually came up with a very interesting definition for the term vegan. So let's go ahead and check it out. Here's what Leslie has to say. She says that vegan, okay, is defined as to seek an end to the use of animals by man or woman for food, commodities, work, hunting, vivisection, and by all other uses. Now, for those of us who don't know what the term vivisection means, all it simply refers to is using animals for science and or medical research. That's right. Now here's something that is of particular interest, especially when it comes to this video series. Ladies and gentlemen, if you reread the definition, you will notice that the term vegan was never ever meant to say skinny, lean, slim, or even healthy. Remember something, the original definition was simply based on animals not being used by men and women for all different types of purposes. Being healthy, being slim, being lean really didn't come to fruition until after a lot of medical and professional research articles were published about how beneficial a whole food plant-based diet is when it comes to human beings. You see that? So ladies and gentlemen, whenever you come across anyone who's overweight or obese and they say that they're vegan, it's not necessarily correct for us to automatically judge them, right? Why? Because they could be a vegan for different reasons. So there we have it, guys. We now know the definition of the word fat, and we now know the definition of the word vegan. All right, first things first. Remember something. The title of this video is, Are Fat Vegans Not Active Enough? So obviously there's a problem. So let's go ahead and discuss that. So, ladies and gentlemen, to answer the question, the answer is yes. Fat vegans are not active enough. So the question is, right, is how do we get them more active? But don't worry, guys, we're going to answer that question in a little bit. But first, let's address the problem. So yes, we already know, we've already established that fat vegans are not active enough. Now, here's part of the problem, is that oftentimes fat vegans, obese vegans, unhealthy vegans, overweight vegans, right? We use a lot of excuses, such as, I have no time. Why? Because I work, I have to go to school, I have kids, and overall, I just have a busy schedule. Another common excuse is that vegans, fat vegans, they say they have no money. Why? Because they have a lot of bills. Another excuse that is commonly used is that they have no support from friends and family members. Another excuse that is common among overweight, fat, unhealthy vegans is that they are active at work. So there's no need to go to the gym. There's no need for a gym membership. Right? Well, guys, here's what I have to say about that. Work is work and working out is working out. Please do not confuse the two. Also, for those of us who say that we do a lot of walking around at work and you may lift heavy boxes at work, well, guys, you got to understand that sooner rather than later, your body adapts to that new level of physical activity. So once that adaptation occurs, then anything thereafter is pretty much null and void. Another common excuse that fat vegans use is that you begin to blame your genetics, saying things like, I was born with the fat gene. We also take a look at our family members and we notice that almost all of our family members are overweight and or obese. So why not just follow suit, right? And here's another part of the problem is that obese vegans, fat vegans, they're not doing any type of heavy strength training. If anything, they're not doing any type of weight training whatsoever. And last but not least, yes, we already know that fat vegans are not active enough, but here's another part of the problem is that even if they are active, they're doing the wrong types of physical activity. So for instance, they may be focusing on doing way too much cardio. Now guys, yes, cardio is an excellent form of exercise, and yes, it does strengthen your heart and your lungs, right? But at the same time, if you're not doing any type of strength training, then you are wasting away your muscles, which in turn can lower your metabolism, which basically will keep you overweight, unhealthy, and fat. So there we have it, guys. Lots and lots of problems for our unhealthy, overweight, fat vegans. All right, so now that we've identified the problems, let's now offer a few exercise tips. Why? Because we're here to help, we're here to educate, and we're here to motivate. So exercise tip number 1 is to be patient, be consistent, and be disciplined. Remember, guys, exercise is not a quick fix. Now, here's what you got to understand, is that the weight didn't pile on overnight. So what that means is that even though you may want to exercise a whole lot, especially very vigorously, it's not going to come off overnight. So be patient with yourself. Also, guys, be consistent and be disciplined. Now, one of the tips that I can really help you out with is to actually create a schedule. This could be a daily schedule, a weekly schedule, or a monthly schedule. Create time and space for you to actually start exercising or at least becoming more physically active. Another piece of the puzzle is to let the people in your life know about your schedule. Let them know when you plan to exercise. That way they are not tempted to call you, text you, or try to get you to do some type of errand that's going to interrupt and or interfere with your exercise schedule. Here's another tip. Understand this. You cannot exercise your way out of a bad vegan diet. Ladies and gentlemen, remember something. When we're eating the quote-unquote transition vegan foods, when we're eating the vegan desserts, the vegan junk food, anything that's not a whole plant-based food, we basically are putting a lot of calories, a lot of fat, and unfortunately a lot of toxins in our bodies. Now, yes, exercise does help, but it's not a 100% panacea. It's not a cure-all. So understand something. If your objective is to get healthy, lose the pounds, right, reduce the muffin tops, get rid of the gut, then not only is it important that we begin to exercise more, but we also have to complement that with a much healthier plant-based whole food meal plan. Here's another tip, is to do what you love. So maybe you're older and maybe back in the day you used to maybe be a cheerleader, maybe you were a football player, maybe you used to run a lot, cycle a lot, whatever the case may be, do what you love. That way you're more likely to continue doing it. That's right. So if you like to dance, then dance. If you like to go walking, then go walking. If you prefer to play a sport, then play a sport. basketball, soccer, hockey, football, they're all there for you to enjoy. So once again, do what you love. Here's another quick tip, is to start slow. And I'll say that again, start slow. Opt for low intensity, low frequency, and short duration workouts, especially if you are a beginner. That's right. So even though maybe 10 years ago you were a weekend warrior, but within the past 10 years you really slacked off, once again, I highly suggest you start slow. The primary reason why you want to start slow is to avoid any type of injuries. That's right. Nothing can sideline you faster than an injury. So ladies and gentlemen, please start slow. My next tip is to incorporate the principle of progressive overload. Now, what this simply means is that as time passes, your workouts become more difficult. It's easy. So if you want to engage in some type of resistance or weight training, then every workout or maybe every other workout, you may want to increase the amount of weights that you're lifting. For those of us who prefer to do cardio, nothing wrong with that, but just make sure that you either increase the distance or run faster, right? So guys, after you start slow, then of course incorporate the progressive overload principle. Here's my next tip, is that cardio and weights create a calorie deficit. Ladies and gentlemen, if weight loss is the goal, then you must understand that by doing cardio and by lifting weights, yes, both, not just one or the other, but actually doing both creates a calorie deficit. So what does that mean? It simply means that you're burning more calories than you're actually taking in. Now, something else that I want to add to this is that by increasing the amount of physical activity that you perform throughout the day will also add to your calorie deficit. So doing small things such as taking the stairs and not the elevator. Another thing that I almost always do is park my car the farthest distance from whichever store I'm about to go into. Now, believe it or not, you're going to get more steps, right? Plus, you're going to be able to avoid any type of vehicular and or pedestrian traffic. So guys, always incorporate cardio, weights, and any type of daily physical activity in order to facilitate a calorie deficit. And here's my last tip, is don't forget about rest days. As we've already stated, guys, the weight didn't pile on overnight, so it's not going to go away overnight. And so some people, not knowing this, they tend to go into overdrive. They start exercising every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not good. You need to allow the body to rest. Now, here's what you probably may not know, is that if you find yourself exercising every single day, 7 days out of the week, you may start to run into a few problems. Why? Because you're overtraining. You may notice that you're starting to feel a few aches and pains, especially in your joints, such as your elbows, your knees, your wrists, and your ankles. You may start to notice that you're tired more often, right? You may start to notice that you are becoming more sick more often. That's right. You see, guys, those are all the symptoms of you overtraining. That's why it's always important to incorporate at least one rest day. That's right, guys. Choose one day out of the week where you perform no exercise whatsoever. Go ahead and study. Go ahead, lay on your couch and binge watch your favorite Netflix episode, right? And also, here's something that you have to understand, and this is to basically emphasize why rest days are very important. Guys, when you're exercising, whether you're doing cardio or weights or any type of plyometric exercise, technically you're breaking down muscle tissue. Now, the body doesn't heal itself until it rests. That's right. So on your rest days, don't necessarily overthink it, right? Don't stress and worry about, oh my God, I'm missing my workout. Instead, focus on the fact that you are allowing your body to rest, recuperate, and heal itself from your previous workout days. So there we have it, guys. Coach these exercise tips for my fat, overweight, unhealthy, obese vegans. All right, so now that we've discussed the problem, I've given you a few exercise tips. Let's now focus on the solution. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, here's what you need to know. The 23% challenge meal plan actually comes with a workout plan. That's right. Now, my workout plan is unlike any other. Number one, you're going to get your own menu, right? Which is going to tell you exactly how many calories you're consuming. It's also going to give you the grams of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, plus fiber, which is very important. But more importantly, it comes with a workout plan. Now, whether you want to bulk up or get lean, it's easy to do, guys. It's going to come with a recommended amount of weight that you should use per set and per exercise, right? It's also going to let you know how many sets and reps you should complete. It's also going to let you know how long your rest period should be. So the moment you engage in the 23% challenge meal plan, you will automatically get a workout plan that is going to help facilitate you becoming more healthy. The next piece of this solution puzzle is to get involved in group exercise classes. That's right. Don't work out alone, especially when you can have fun with others. So maybe you enjoy yoga, spinning, Zumba, boot camp, Pilates, etc., right? Chances are these classes are going to be offered either online or, for those of us who prefer a gym, they're going to be actually included in your gym membership. Now, if you don't care to get a gym membership, you can always pay for the day. If you decide to do that, expect to pay anywhere from $5 to as much as $20 per day. Here's my next solution, is to go outside. That's right, guys. It's time to get active. Not in the house, not in somebody's gym, but actually outside with the sun and the wind. Now, in order to help you out just a little more, what can we do outside? Well, there are lots of things that we can do outside. Number one, if you have kids, take them outside and play with them. Play tag, play hide and go seek, or if you love going to the beach, then take the kids to the beach. Now, if you're on the beach, don't be the person just simply laying out getting a tan. Oh no. Engage in some type of physical activity. You could walk, you could jog, or of course, go into the ocean and go swimming. Also, when you go outside, play a sport, right? So if you like football, play football. If you like tennis, play tennis. If you enjoy basketball, volleyball, or soccer, then go ahead and engage yourself in those sports. Also, when you go outside, you can do cardio. That's right. So if you like walking, then walk. If you want to jog, jog. If you want to run, run. If you have a bicycle, maybe go cycling. If you have inline skates, go inline skating. Or if you have a pool, then go swimming. Here's another part of the solution. Ladies and gentlemen, my fat vegans, please do not think you can do it alone. Now, to help you out, here's some information for you. Number one, find yourself a trainer. Now, here's the good news. Generally speaking, when you get a new membership at a gym, they usually include one free training session with a personal trainer. Now, take advantage of it. Why? Number one, because it's free. And number two, this is your opportunity to get a lot of information from a trained, certified individual. So please take advantage of that free session that you do get with your trainer. Here's my next piece of advice, right? Is to get a training partner. That's right. So again, this is you not doing it alone. Now, if you are going to find a workout partner, here's what I suggest. Number one, make sure your workout partner is as motivated as you are to get in shape. Number 2, make sure your schedules match one another. That's very, very important. And number 3, make sure that you have similar goals, right? There's nothing worse than trying to work out with somebody who wants to focus on weightlifting when all you want to do is focus on cardio. So please make sure you guys are equally motivated, make sure you guys can coordinate your times, and also make sure that you have similar goals. And last but not least, right, find yourself a mentor. That's right. Now, this could be a virtual mentor or a physical mentor. A virtual mentor is someone like me, Coach D, right, who has his own YouTube channel, who gives lots and lots of advice. Okay? Now, you can also find yourself a physical mentor, right? Now, this is a live person that you can meet with face to face, talk to, ask questions, and of course, receive great information. All right, guys, so now that we've talked about the problems, the exercise tips, and most importantly, the solutions, it's now to transition into Coach D's long-term objective, which is to save 1 million animals. Ladies and gentlemen, 23% Nation, recently I came across an amazing website. It happens to be called vegancalculator.com. vegancalculator.com. Now, here's what they have to say. They say that eating a 100% plant-based diet for 7 days saves 7 animals. That's right, guys. 7 days plant-based, saving 7 animals. How amazing is that? Now, this is only based on 7 days. If you want to go plant-based for more than 7 days, I highly recommend that you click on the description box. Why? Because there is a direct link to vegancalculator.com. And once you put in the number of days that you plan to go plant-based, it'll let you know not only how many animals you're saving, but it'll also let you know just how beneficial a plant-based diet is for planet Earth in general, right? Now the question is, Coach D, what kind of animals are you looking to save, right? Well, guys, I'm looking to save all types of animals. But for the sake of this video, I've actually grouped them into 2 types. Number 1 are those animals that we as humans eat for food. So we're talking about pigs, cows, chickens, lambs, goats, rabbits, right? Shrimp, crab, lobster, fish, okay? And then the second type of animal that we're looking to save are those animals whose natural habitats are destroyed due to the standard American diet. Ladies and gentlemen, something that I've recently come across is a movie entitled Cowspiracy. And basically what they say is that animal agriculture is the biggest contributor to air pollution, water pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, species extinction, and a whole plethora of other environmental issues such as deforestation. So these are the animals that we're looking to save. The ones that we eat as food and the ones whose natural habitats are destroyed due to the standard American diet. 23% Nation, I need your help. Actually, I need the help of 145,000 people to participate in the 23% Challenge meal plan. Now, remember something, it's only 7 days long. As a matter of fact, it's the first 7 days of every single month, the 1st through the 7th. Remember, you do it for 7 days, right? You're going to save 7 animals. Now, if you do a little bit of quick math, you can multiply 145,000 times 7, and yes, the answer will be a little over 1 million, but who's counting, right? Now, some of you have listened to everything that I've had to say, and you're convinced. And so you say, you know what, Coach D, I want to help, right? I want to lose weight, I want to get in shape, plus I want to save the animals. So here's the good news. I've actually teamed up with Fiverr.com. That's right, guys, Fiverr.com. And I have my own gig there. As a matter of fact, it is entitled, I will create a 7-day plant-based vegan meal plan specifically for you. Now, here's something that you may like, is that my meal plan is unlike any other meal plan. Why? Because it's customized to your liking. That's right, guys. Yes, you are going to be eating whole plant-based foods, but these are the plant foods that you already know, the ones you already love, and the ones you already eat. That way, you're more likely to be successful. On top of that, I'm going to give you a health assessment, and as I've already mentioned, yes, it also comes with a handy dandy workout plan. So please, guys, do yourself a favor. Click on the description box. There is a direct link to my Fiverr gig. So go ahead, click the link, and make the purchase. It's time for our question of the day, and this comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% nation. We have inquiring minds, so we want to know, are fat vegans not active enough? Now, I believe I've already addressed this question, so please write your answer in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Now, before I sign out, I gotta ask you to please use our 3-word mantra. It's hashtag eat more plants. And while you're at it, don't forget to drink more water. As stated before, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out. Always remember, take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.